I tweeted something about this Travis Scott situation, and my mentions are just blowing up, and it's crazy. I was thinking about it. I think we probably should start with it just because I'm not going to be able to flow correctly until I get this off my chest.
All right. Well, do you want to share what you tweeted because I haven't seen it?
So, for those who don't know, Pusha T has come out and dissed Travis Scott on his new album, I believe. I don't know. I haven't heard any, and maybe I'm just like a hater, but I haven't heard anything about this project in any way, shape, or form. The only thing that I've heard and seen is him on multiple platforms talking about this Travis Scott diss, which it is said, "You cried in front of me, you died in front of me. Calabasas took your bitch and your pride in front of me. Heard Utopia had moved right up the street, and her lip gloss was popping. She ain't need you to eat. The net gun call it the way they see it, but I got the video. I can share AE it. They wouldn't believe it. I can't unsee it. Lucky I ain't TMZ it." Hold on, real quick. Pusha T is
So I'll say this.
Pusha T's 47 years old.
Yeah. Yeah.
And threatening to like give a video of Travis Scott crying to TMZ. Like, what is he talking about? But go ahead. What were you gonna say?
So I think what's happening is it's that time of year where where Pusha T is likely coming out with an album because you never see anything about Pusha T unless he's trying to diss somebody or he's in the process of putting out a new album. And so he's come out with a couple singles. This being So Be It being the most recent one. And basically my assumption is he's doing this as publicity for an album rollout, which seems to be what's happening because of these new songs that are coming out, because we're seeing him in the news, in the media for the first time in how long. So that's how I'm looking at it.
Well, yeah, obviously. I mean, yes, obviously. I think the first thing that we need to address and say is like this is super weak. This isn't a bombshell. This isn't everything. I don't think he's talking about Kylie Jenner. I don't think him and Kylie Jenner have been together since like 2018. It's 2025. Like, and it's literally 2025.
Wasn't Travis the one that decided to move on from that relationship anyways?
It doesn't matter what it was. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, true. They haven't been together in a while.
They haven't been together in a while. So I don't really understand what that has to do with too much. And then another thing that was brought up was that like he went to a recording session with Pharrell, and
so I have the whole thing here. So the quote from Pusha T was, "We were in Paris literally working, and he was calling to play his new album. He came to Pharrell's studio to play, which was the LV in Paris, the LV like building, whatever. He interrupted a session. He sees me and Malice there. He's like, oh man, everybody's here.
Shit,
he's
Malice.
Smiling. Yeah. Seriously.
Go ahead. Sorry.
He's smiling, laughing, jumping around, doing his fucking monkey dance. We weren't into the music, but he wanted to play it. Wanted Pharrell and us to listen to it. A week later, you hear Meltdown, which he didn't play. He played the song, but not Drake's verse. So what I want to say about that whole scenario is Academics put out a video basically saying that there was no Drake verse at the time. The Drake verse reportedly was recorded and sent to Travis 24 hours before that album came out.
That is very well documented too.
Correct.
That's a very well documented piece of evidence that like, one, if you have the vinyls, I have the vinyl, they have A with him and Lil Uzi on it. Meltdown isn't even on any Utopia
Correct.
vinyl. And that
was on Twitter as well.
Yeah, that was on Twitter. And then second, like I'm pretty sure Drake and or Travis tweeted like just got like the vocals in, and it was like the night before the drop.
Yeah, so the Pusha T timeline, if he did any research, he would have known that that the verse was not even in existence yet until a day before the album came out. He then went on to basically say that Travis is like harmless, he's a whore, like he does this to everybody. And the thing that like bothered me the most is that Pusha T like makes himself seem like this big bad bully type of guy that's like standing up for everybody, kind of like Pharrell and all this. A couple things. Why can't Pharrell speak for himself? Everybody like Drake has verses about Pharrell. I don't understand why Pharrell never comes out and makes any comments about anything. It's always like
I don't think he cares.
Kanye has to say something, or Pusha T has to say something, or like I don't know. I feel like there was one other guy within that like good music hierarchy branch type thing that are always like trying to defend Pharrell. If Pharrell cared that much, I feel like he would probably say something about it, but he never says anything. He always, all these other dudes just come out and fight his battles for him. And then secondly, Pusha T comes across as, like I said, this big bad bully type of guy. If you were, and he goes on to say that Travis is harmless. Okay, if Travis was harmless and you're as big and bad as you say that you are, why wouldn't you have just told him, hey man, we're in the middle of this. Can you just like wait until we're done before you go and play this music for Pharrell? Like we're working on an album right now. If he's so harmless, I feel like
There's a video.
you would have said something about that.
There's a video of Travis and Pharrell together in the K-pop video of the exact day that they're talking about, and Pharrell's listening to the music, bobbing his head, looking at the camera, being like, "This is hot." So like,
Malice and Pusha didn't like it,
about?
Is what he's saying about. I don't know.
Those guys,
no, I'm just clarifying.
Those guys. What really bugs me about this entire thing is like now everybody right now it feels like Travis Scott has an absolute like hate slander piece coming out on him. The Astro World Festival Netflix thing just dropped. Documentary just dropped. And then now like this happens, and now every Travis Scott hater is out of the woodwork, and everybody now is a Pusha T fan. And I haven't heard a thing about Pusha T ever in my life. And I have people text me being like, you need to do some research on clips. It's like, if I have to do some research on fucking clips, if you don't just know about it, like, in my opinion, they've done zero damage within the culture. Another thing that pisses me off, I tweeted, now it's turned into, because I'm white, obviously. I don't know if you guys can tell that or not.
You're also Dominican.
And I'm Puerto Rican. They saw my birth certificate. Somebody tweeted something, I like Pusha T, but punching down on Travis Scott, knowing he doesn't have the necessary pen to kind of respond is whack. I said, not only was the diss weak, Pusha T is completely irrelevant. Travis Scott is a top 3 most important artists of the 2010s, of the late 2010s and the 2020s. Pusha has never been close to the same level as Travis Scott. Then it is now turned into a race thing, which I'm sure you're shocked to hear about. One thing that I want to say about like people who comment and saying like white people can't speak on the culture, the rap culture is completely intertwined, whether you like it or not. Like, you might not love to hear that, but like there are the biggest rapper of all time who has sold the most units is Eminem, and he's white. So this culture is completely intertwined. So if you follow it and you care about it, you are completely justified to speak on it. Point 1. Point 2, the amount of impact that Travis Scott has had on rap culture, and for people to sit around and be like, oh, he doesn't have a pen, he doesn't do this, he doesn't do that. Travis Scott is one of the most impactful rappers of all time. And then people are now trying to act like Pusha T is some sort of prophet. He has never put out anything that has done more damage than Travis Scott in his entire he's 47 years old, however long his career has been. So yes, Travis Scott might not have like a traditional pen to go at somebody, let's say, but why is the automatic thing whenever somebody starts talking about rap, it automatically turns into, when somebody disses, is like, oh, this is what rap culture is. This is what needs to be done. I don't really
It's
care.
literally not what it's about at all anymore.
I don't care for the diss tracks literally at all.
They
Because
have no replay. Realistically, they have like not much replay value.
not at all. Literally not at all. And that's where I'm just like a little confused why everybody is so quick. Like nobody ever talks about diss tracks unless if it's in that 24-hour news cycle when it's hot, people finally have something to talk about. But it's literally one of those situations where it comes and goes, and that's really all there is to it. I mean,
Yeah.
Drake absolutely murdered Meek Mill, and they were on a song together a few years later. Like this is something that is just like so obsolete and so
It's just a
stupid.
blip on the radar
It's just a
for
blip
like
on the radar.
the music timeline. Like none of it really ends up lasting more than like 3 weeks max. And like it's crazy too because Pusha T is already like doubled and tripled down on all of this somehow, which
He
he's just
had
going
this,
on every
yeah. He went on Ebro. He went on the Popcast. He went on, which is that New York Times podcast with John.
Yep.
Whatever his last name is.
I know those guys.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I forget the other one that he was on. And I saw the clip of the Ebro one today. I mean, Ebro is like what's aged the worst, and hello.
We lost you. You said what's aged the worst?
What's aged the worst? And like Ebro just being like any chance that he has to take at a rapper and he takes it and he's just wrong. Like there are like that. The most notorious thing that he did was that Lil Uzi thing. Like Lil Uzi like is like of the late 2010s, like maybe one of the most important artists that were in the rap game. Like, and if people can't sit around and like acknowledge that, then like you're so out of touch. Like that's really what Travis Scott has done he took maybe like a blueprint of like some stuff that people have done and amplified it. I said yesterday, Travis Scott is bigger than Kanye West was ever. And that might be an extremely hot take, but if you look at what Travis Scott has done, Kanye West, what do I say all the time? Steal Like an Artist. It's one of my favorite books. Travis Scott has taken a blueprint and has amplified everything from the rap game, the clothing game, the sneaker game, in every sense of the imagination. So to sit around and just act like his importance within the game just like is nothing, which is like a lot of what people are doing right now, is just like so ignorant. That's really the only way I can put it, is so ignorant. And just to be like he doesn't have a pen. It's like Travis Scott has some of the best songs of the last decade. The most popular songs of the last decade. And I just can't believe that people have anything to say negatively about it, I guess. And out of all people, Pusha T, and to have people come out of the absolute woodwork to talk about Pusha T is just disgusting, in my opinion.
So Bun B was on Nightcap with Shannon Sharp.
I saw that.
And went on to say that like he wouldn't be surprised if Travis ends up saying like putting something out by the weekend, and that he doesn't really think Travis is going to back down on this one, and he thinks that people are going to demand a response. A couple things. He also went on to say that Pusha T is like a diss rapper. So like one, I wouldn't be surprised if Travis didn't say a single thing about this because I just don't think that it matters. I think that Travis Scott is just in a whole different stratosphere that he has nothing. There's nothing for him to say in a song that is going to make him look any better than he already is. And you said earlier that I can't believe somebody tweeted out like I can't believe Pusha T's punching down. It's the complete opposite if Travis goes and says something. Travis would be punching way down on Pusha T. Nobody cares about Pusha T. And the only time he comes out and makes any music is when he's dissing somebody and when he's trying to go out and like trying to promote an album. So like those two things basically are intertwined in the Pusha T like timeline. Is if he's dissing someone, you know there's probably an album on the way. And that's pretty much how it's gone since Pusha T's been making music. And then other thing is this whole Clips scenario is like I didn't even know who Clips was until
2016.
probably when Kanye West put out the like that God album. I forget what it's called, but the blue with the white. And they were on a song. Obviously, I've known who
2018. I know. Yeah, I'm probably the same time as you for me as well.
I've known Pusha T since prior to that, but I never knew who Clips was. And sure, maybe I'm uncultured or unaware, but like if they're that big of a deal, we listen to a lot of rap music. If they were that big of a deal and that culturally significant in the grand scheme of all of this, I feel like they would have come up years before 2018 if they were actually that significant. I could be wrong. I could very well be wrong, but like
I don't know. I've never heard of them. I've like there is not one Clip song on my playlist. There's not one Pusha T song on any of my playlists anywhere. So like for people to like start amplifying their significance, it's like they can't be that important because if they were that important and they were that good, there would be you would hear music by them and people would be talking about them. People
are talking about them like they're the fucking Migos.
Yeah, well the Migos suck.
Yeah, but you could go and ask 90% of America and they could probably tell you who the Migos are.
That's fair. Yes, that's fair. And no, they're clearly not. One other thing that I've seen in all of this is like now it's turned into like a taste conversation. Like people tweet out a picture of like Drake and Travis Scott, which honestly I felt like is this being like a little bit of a like a compliment to Travis Scott. And people, I saw a big tweet. It's like if any of these two are your favorite artists, you have no room to comment on music. And it was a picture of Travis Scott and a picture of Drake. And I was like, honestly, shout out Travis. Like that's like he's on that he is on that level now though. You know what I mean? Like where people are they just hate him, I guess. Like
that feels like a tweet that somebody would tweet out if like they stopped listening to rap music in like 1991.
Somebody just quote tweeted my tweet. I hate your generation. Like I'm 30.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like that's
I'm 30.
Like that's the maybe Clips was like super popular to people that are 45, but like again, nobody cares about them now. Nobody could tell you who Clips was. I guarantee you ask 90% of 30-year-olds, they probably couldn't tell you who Clips is.
I just told you, I just went through that whole timeline yesterday when we were texting with Brady. I was like D12, Eminem, 50 Cent, like T.I., Jeezy, like all of those people like back in the day that I listened to, like Pusha T.
Way bigger.
Pusha T is not one of those people that I listen to. And then somebody was like quantity or like quality doesn't equate to like money or sales or this, that, and the third. Listen, at some point it does. If something's good, it will be very amplified. People will listen to it and it'll be popular. That's how things work. If it's niche, then it's niche. It sounds like this Clip situation, the Pusha T situation is an extremely niche community. So like, and that's fine, but like, don't sit around acting like it's the best thing that's ever made because it's not.
Pusha T only really popped off, and Pusha T songs are only really good if Kanye West is the main, like, unless if it's a Pusha feature and Kanye West is like the main artist on the song.
I don't have. I told you.
Otherwise, it doesn't matter.
I don't have one Pusha T song on any of my playlists anywhere.
Runaway, like Brady was talking about, one of the best Kanye songs. Pusha T is on it, but I said this to him and you in the group chat. Pusha T could not be on that song, and that song still holds the exact same amount of cultural relevancy and significance than if he was on it.
Probably yes. Probably yes. But it is so. You said you mentioned slightly like what should Travis do next? Like should he respond? Travis Scott is sitting on a slapper. He's sitting on multiple slappers. We talked about this like the other day. Kick Out, She Going Dumb, like those songs, like drop it right. Like what he should just do is just drop the song of the summer
And just
and
flood out any nonsense
just be
that
like
Pusha T's saying. Yeah.
Pusha T, like you could never you could never have the streets buzzing the way that I have them buzzing.
Yeah.
And that's really what I think Travis should do, because I think that he's sitting, the two songs that I've heard are slappers. Don Toliver's sitting on the slapper. Really what I look at this situation as is old men at this point in the game who are jealous that Travis has like amplified everything that they've done. Good Music was wash. It sucked. It fell off immediately. And Travis has Cactus Jack Records, and him and Don Toliver are very massive artists, right? Very massive, relevant artists in this current landscape. And I think that they're just haters. That's really what I think it comes down to.
I think it's a lot like when like the older generation talks about the NBA or like the NFL, and they're like, "Oh, these guys would have." My dad's the same way. I've tried to talk to him about like old baseball players and how they wouldn't nearly have the same amount of success in this day and age because guys are throwing 103 miles per hour and baseball is their full-time job, as opposed to like back then some of these guys had fucking part-time jobs.
Yeah, like
so
Mickey
like
Mantle.
Right, well, bad example for you because I love him, but but I get your point. Yes. But yeah, it's the same exact thing. It's like nobody of the older generation is ever going to admit that anybody is better than who they grew up loving. And that's exactly what's happening with this scenario right now.
Yeah, I just, like I said, everybody loves to have the conversation, and then I bring like if you were to bring up like, well, Travis Scott has washed Pusha T in every sense of the imagination on every level, and then people will be like, oh, you only bring up numbers and numbers don't matter. But like those are the same people that if the numbers were to matter, they would use the numbers in the conversation as well. So
why wouldn't the numbers matter?
That's what, dude, I don't know. When you are talking to somebody and their argument is a little baseless and you give it fact instead, and when you make it an argument and a fact-based argument compared to a opinion-based argument, people back out of the argument and say that the numbers aren't relevant. So that's what I have seen over the years, like just talking to certain people, like are like in text change or on Twitter, whatever. It seems like if once you start making an argument based on facts instead of opinion, people start using those facts as non-valid. Be like, oh, those don't matter. It's like, oh, okay.
I think you have to be able to separate the two because obviously music is partially opinionated. Like we don't obviously all like the same things.
For sure.
And like you can go out there and say that like, oh yeah, like I like Pusha T and I think he made good songs, but you also have to be able to look at the numbers and say, okay, well, maybe he's not as big and as significant as I think he is because otherwise he'd be doing more streams, more sales, more this, more that.
Really?
And people don't do that.
Really, the best example, Pusha T is punching down at Travis Scott. Me giving, if I were to go and be like, well, Travis Scott is a more relevant artist in every sense of the word. By everything that he's ever done is bigger than Pusha T's. And giving that as a fact, like that is really what we're getting at in this situation. Is like,
yeah,
I'm not saying that Pusha it doesn't have the right to do it. I'm not sitting here saying that Travis Scott has the pen to respond. I just think it's stupid. I don't think Travis should even slightly think about responding. I think Travis should go and drop the song of the summer because that's what he's sitting on. So like Pusha could never do that. So like just be like, hey bro, can you do this? No, you can't. Shut the fuck up. That's really what I think it comes down to. Not saying that's that. And then the other thing that I'm saying is Pusha T's not that important. Stop acting like he's that important. I mean, Brady Green was like, he was the founder and the vice president of good music. Like, shut the fuck up. Good music was
good music was Kanye West. Good music is Kanye West. And when he stopped actually caring about it, we saw exactly what happened.
Big Sean, Wash Big Sean, Wash Kid Cudi, Sci-Fi the Prince. Who else was on there? That music collective group was garbage, plain and simple.
It was all Kanye. Kanye was the reason that people liked good music. And when Kanye, like I said, stopped putting all of those guys on albums and they kind of went out and started to do their own thing, we saw exactly how it played out. Kanye West, still one of the biggest ever. None of these other guys are even worth really tuning into anymore.
I mean, they're not at all.
Exactly.
Yeah, so like I said, definitely interesting. It's one of those things where I'm not fighting for my life on Twitter because I'm not going to respond to everybody, but every single person is just coming at me saying I'm racist, saying Travis Scott's not a rapper. He's too popular to respond as corny. If you're a rapper, then you need to rap. Like just shit like that. Like I guess it's really sad. It's not sad. It's just like there is no other genre of music that there is a community and niche of people that like thrive on like just like straight hate. Just being like, what if somebody, it could be anybody dissing anybody and they'll love it. Like when we talked about the Kendrick and Drake stuff like over the summer, I was like, I really don't care. I don't really care about it that much. I'm not listening to the music, but we covered it because it was just like it was like an important time in history.
Yeah.
Like in music history. So we had to do it. But like, it wasn't like I was listening. A lot of, are any of those songs in your rotation anymore? I think Family Matters is pretty good. I think Family Matters has a lot of replay value, but I mean, not like Us is like it's like a jingle for a commercial at this point. Like it's like unbearable to listen to. And then like every other song, I don't think I can name it. I know it's like The Heart Part 6, Meet the Grams, and I kind of forget all the other ones. I don't remember any of them. So like you said, it's a blip on the radar. They come and go. And honestly, a lot of the songs kind of suck.
Yeah. Most diss tracks aren't good.
Yeah.
Like we said, they really don't hold much replay value.
And I will go out on a limb and say Pusha T's diss to Travis Scott will also hold 0 replay value.
Yeah, if Travis comes out and just puts out even one of those as a single, it's super quiet for clips and Pusha T.
I think as of right now, officially, I don't know if their album has dropped. I see like Let God Sort 'Em Out t-shirt box and tee set. So hey guys, Clips is doing a box set. So how about he took the Travis Scott?
Where'd that come from? Yeah.
One. So whatever. And then so I think though, if they haven't dropped this album, one move that I could also see Travis doing is dropping Jack Boys 2 on the same day that Pusha drops whatever album that he drops. And
he should.
Obviously it'll wash it. So
yeah.
But that's really, I feel a lot better. I had to get that. I really did have to. I had to get that off my chest because it was just bugging me. I'm like seeing all this shit on social media. I'm like, the Travis Scott slander. Like people love to watch successful people fall. There is a very sick group of individuals who like are like thriving on this. Like yes, like Travis Scott just had this documentary come out. He's getting dissed. Like he's done. He's over. It's like people are crazy. Yeah. Well, he's definitely not. I just spit it. Good girl. We're getting paper as a passion. Collect the stacks and bring it back, man.